Kanye West is now being sued, apparently, by the George Floyd family. So put aside all of the Kanye West radical, crazy anti-Semitism that we've seen over the past couple of weeks. This is ridiculous. It is ridiculous that George Floyd's family is now suing Kanye West. They announced that they are filing a $250 million lawsuit against Kanye West over his recent statement about George Floyd's death. The rapper, who goes by Ye, erroneously declared on a podcast Floyd died from fentanyl, not as a result of police brutality, according to Yahoo Entertainment. Now, again, erroneously declared on a podcast that Floyd died from fentanyl? Erroneously? I mean, this happens to be under dispute on a factual level. Just because a jury ruled that homicide was responsible for the death of George Floyd does not mean that you are not allowed to have the opinion that the jury got it wrong in the United States. A jury also ruled that O.J. Simpson was innocent. O.J. Simpson happened to have been the murderer of his ex-wife, Ronald Goldman. So just because a jury finds that a thing happened does not mean that that is now the factually established reality. And the fact is that George Floyd did have a significant amount of fentanyl in his system. According to the tox report, he had 11 NGMLs of fentanyl, and he had another 5.6 NGMLs of norfentanyl in his system. The tox report and the report after his death, the report on his body, suggested there were no life-threatening injuries identified. There were no actual injuries of anterior muscles of the neck or the laryngeal structures. There was no facial, oral, mucosal, or conjunctival petechiae. There was no chest wall soft tissue injuries, rib fractures, vertebral column injuries, or visceral injuries. Now, the reason I assume that Ye has been declaring this is because, of course, Ye has been promoting Candace Owens' documentary. The documentary is worth watching. It is quite good. The Greatest Lie Ever Sold. So what exactly does the documentary say about all? Well, why don't we begin with this? Here's the Floyd family lawyer on suing Kanye West.
I wonder if this will mean that Kanye West's comments about George Floyd will gain even more attention. Does that factor into the decision to move forward with this lawsuit?
Well, we're going to move forward, and whether or not it receives more attention, we think it's a very important issue in this country. I mean, people are talking about free speech, but people also need to understand the limitations. If you're going to use other people's name for profit, if you're going to profit from other people's pain, if you're going to re-traumatize people, then you have to pay for it, just like Alex Jones paid for it in the verdict against him for nearly $1 billion.
Okay, I'm sorry, but first of all, defamation does not apply to those who have passed away. This is a legal matter. You can't defame somebody who's already died. So there's that. Also, it happens to be that truth, or at least the possibility of truth, is a defense to any defamation claim in the first place. We'll get to more on this in just 1 second. First, with everything going on in the world right now, you know, the crappy economy and the complete foreign chaos in Ukraine, you really could use a good night's sleep. That's why you need to check out Helix Mattress. I've had my Helix sleep mattress for years at this point. I still love it as much as the day that I received it. Helix has several different mattress models to choose from. They've got soft, medium, and firm mattresses. Mattresses are great for cooling you down if you sleep hot. Mattresses are great for spinal alignment, prevent morning aches and pains. Even a Helix Plus mattress for plus-size sleepers. If you're nervous about buying a mattress online, you don't have to be, because Helix has a sleep quiz that matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress. Because why would you buy a mattress made for somebody else? I took that Helix quiz. I was matched with a firm but breathable mattress because I wanted something that actually felt firm. Again, I get back pain if the mattress is too soft, and this one's really breathable. I heat up at night. My wife loves the Helix Sleep mattress as well. If you're looking for a mattress, go to helixsleep.com/Ben. Take that 2-minute sleep quiz. Find that perfect mattress for your body and sleep type. Your mattress will come directly to your door for free. Plus, Helix has a 10-year warranty. You get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but I'm not sure that has ever happened. Helix has over 12,000 5-star reviews. Their financing options and flexible payment plans make it so a great night's sleep is never far away. For a limited time, Helix is offering up to $350 off all mattress orders, plus 2 free pillows for our listeners. This is their best offer yet. Hurry on over to helixsleep.com/Ben to get started. The Greatest Lie Ever Sold does a very good job of going through all of the fact patterns with regard to what exactly happened in George Floyd's death. Here is a clip from The Greatest Lie Ever Sold, which you should go check out over at Daily Wire, plus is Candace's new documentary.
They had to have the jury believe that it was a neck restraint, it was the knee on the neck, it was asphyxiation that killed George Floyd. However, there was a ton of evidence that George Floyd consumed a toxic, lethal cocktail of fentanyl and methamphetamine.
Did it appear that Mr. Floyd said, "I ate too many drugs"?
Yes, it did.
Let's put it in perspective. 3 grains of fentanyl on the head of a lead pencil, enough to kill you, enough to kill me. And so they had to continuously inculcate the public to believe that Derek Chauvin intentionally, premeditatedly murdered George Floyd, and drugs had absolutely nothing to do with it. As Lindsay and the toxicologist presented that awful testimony.
Do you recall describing the level of fentanyl as a fatal level of fentanyl?
I recall describing it in other circumstances. It would be a fatal level, yes, in other circumstances. Had Mr. Floyd been home alone in his locked residence with no evidence of trauma, and the only autopsy finding was that fentanyl level, then yes, I would certify his death as due to fentanyl toxicity.
Okay, so again, all that is straight from the documentary. There's nothing false about anything in the documentary. All of that is well established. All of it is well verified. The attempt to try to suggest that you're not allowed to say this sort of stuff is, in fact, a restraint on free speech. The lawyers for Floyd's family, by the way, have said they're not going to file a defamation lawsuit because, of course, they don't actually have the standard. They're going to say intentional infliction of emotional distress, which, no, that is not going to fly under any circumstances. The fact is that the attempt that is ongoing right now to basically verboten anything being said in defiance of the narrative on things like George Floyd or Black Lives Matter is the reason why Candace made the documentary The Greatest Lie Ever Sold, which, again, you should go check out over at Daily Wire Plus. And by the way, some of the things you're not supposed to talk about with regard to George Floyd's death is the simple fact that a different angle shows that Derek Chauvin's knee is actually on the back of George Floyd, not on the back of George Floyd's neck. And you can actually see his knee is on George Floyd's shoulder. It was characterized as such by witnesses for the prosecution in that particular case. Again, truth is of very little consequence when you are attempting to establish a narrative about the supposed racism of the United States more broadly. Guys, the rest of the show is continuing. Now you're not going to want to miss it. We'll be getting into a company pulling out of California after pointing out that San Francisco has descended into sheer chaos. Plus, California is making sure that they are now a trans kid tourism state. We'll get to that in just a second. If you're not a member, click the link in the description and join us.